Hello Internet. I haven't published a YouTube video in quite some time because of scheduling conflicts and quite frankly lack of motivation, but I do have a nice little project here and I'm going to share it with you. I have a bandmate with the Hughes Kettner Silver Edition made in Germany, and I believe he bought it new. He decided that the speaker that was in it was too quote-unquote tubby sounding, especially at higher volumes, and so he replaced the speaker with a JBL D120F, and that served him quite well for a long time, but recently it's developed a nasty ringing noise. The problem is exaggerated when playing at higher volumes and especially higher up on the neck. So I needed to set out to find out what the problem is, and in order to do that I need to run some tests on it. I plugged a function generator into the input of the amplifier and swept across various frequencies and amplitudes. I'm pretty sure that the problem is mechanical in nature because it's very much frequency dependent. It suspects that there's some kind of resonance happening, but just to be sure I needed to test the amplifier with a different speaker and cabinet. I needed to test the speaker outside of the cabinet to make sure it isn't the cabinet itself, and I needed to test them with an external amplifier. I determined unequivocally that the problem is the speaker itself. There's some kind of mechanical abnormality inside the speaker itself, something that can't be seen, and I'm not going to dig into it because I'm frankly not qualified. So, with his permission, I set out to find a replacement speaker. The only rule is that it had to have similar sonic characteristics to the D120F, and it couldn't be over $150. So what I needed to do was get a measurement of the existing speaker, and I don't have a proper anechoic chamber, I don't have really the proper test equipment, but I can at least get in the ballpark. In order to do that, I set up a speaker for which I do know the frequency response and tested that on my equipment, and I'll use that as a baseline to measure against this D120F. I can't use these as published specifications by any stretch of the imagination. I made my control room as anechoic in this area as possible. But again, it's just a ballpark. I'm really trying to get an idea of where the peaks and valleys of the frequency response are on the speaker. And I think I have a pretty good idea of what its performance is. And so from there, I could look at specifications from other manufacturers, other speaker models, and I went with a Eminence Redback ultimately. It has the same kind of characteristic peaks and valleys that the D120F does. But I noticed that in general he tends to crank up the high end more on the amplifier, and so if I'm going to err on any side, it should be a brighter speaker. I think it wound up working quite successfully. Try to find something that is going to have similar properties but also tailored a little bit more to his specific taste, and I think I found that. So leave any questions or comments in the section down there, and have a great day.